This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Ramesh Piris and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The President says allowing person to use traditional farmlands is not meant to destroy forests. The Pakistan Prime Minister to visit Sri Lanka this week. The UN Human Rights Council is gearing up to launch its 46th session virtually tomorrow. Minister Dalasala Perama says 10% of the country's school children suffer from diabetes at present. COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka on the rise. Over 300,000 vaccinated against the coronavirus pandemic. The elephant-human conflict in Sri Lanka is to be brought up at the COPA committee again. News overseas, the WHO pleads with Tanzania to start reporting coronavirus cases. In sports cricket, Bangladesh confirms Sri Lanka tour in April. And those are the headlines. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that allowing the villagers to use their traditional farmlands uninterrupted does not mean that it was a permission given to destroy forests. The head of the state made these remarks participating in the 11th Gama Samaga Pilisandara program in Karuwala Gaswever in Puttalam district. The president said some people had misunderstood what he said in previous Gama Samaga Pilisandara program and added that he had only instructed to allow people to cultivate traditional lands that the people had been cultivating for years. Furthermore, President Rajapaksa remarked that social media was prepared to spread false news and sabotage these programs. Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan is scheduled to undertake an official visit to Sri Lanka on 23rd, 24th February on the invitation of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. During his visit, Prime Minister Imran Khan will attend bilateral meetings with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, while several other high-level engagements are planned, including a business and investment forum, as well as the sports diplomacy initiative. Both Sri Lanka and Pakistan Prime Ministers will together preside over an event to sign several mutually beneficial bilateral memorandum of understanding on the 23rd February following their official talks at the Temple Trees. The UN Human Rights Council is gearing up to launch its 46th session virtually tomorrow. Sri Lanka will appeal prominently with the long-awaited report by High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet, the former president of Chile, being presented in an interactive dialogue on the second day of the session. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dinesh Gunawardena, says Sri Lanka is prepared to face the core group's resolution to be presented at the upcoming session of the United Nations Human Rights Council. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Army Commander General Shavendra Silva confirmed that Sri Lanka reported 254 new infections of the novel coronavirus today. Accordingly, the total count of COVID-19 cases reported in the country reached 79,734. According to the Health Ministry's data, 74,299 of the confirmed patients have made complete recoveries from the virus. However, 5,000 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centers located across the country. Sri Lanka has witnessed 435 deaths from the virus so far. The acting Minister of Health, Professor Channa Jayasumana, charges that several factions are spreading false claims pertaining to the country's vaccination drive against COVID-19. Speaking to media, the minister said statements pertaining to persons over the age of 60 not being vaccinated are one such false claim. He claimed that the vaccination drive has been a success, adding that the persons in the Western Province, which has been identified high-risk area, were vaccinated over the past few days. He added a total of over 302,800 vaccine doses have been administered in the country thus far, with 39,078 doses administered yesterday. The minister also noted only the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has been administered in Sri Lanka, as it is the only vaccine that has been approved in the country thus far. The special audit report on the elephant-human conflict in Sri Lanka has been called to address before the Committee on Public Accounts again on the 23rd of February. The COPA Committee, which was held on the 9th of December 2020, disclosed that Sri Lanka has become a country with highest number of elephant deaths in the world due to the human-elephant conflict. It was also revealed that Sri Lanka has the second highest number of reported human deaths in the world as a result of ongoing human-elephant conflict. These facts were presented by Dr. Prithviraj Fernando, a scholar with many years of research experience regarding the human-elephant conflict. Accordingly, the recommendations put forward in Sri Lanka pertaining to minimizing the human-elephant conflict will be considered at the COPA Committee. Sri Lanka and the United States have explored the modalities to encourage Sri Lankan exports to the US under the General System of Preferences Arrangement. This was discussed during a virtual meeting between Ambassador Ravinatha Ariyasinghe and Ambassador Christopher Wilson, Assistant U.S. Trade Representative for South and Central Asia. They have reviewed bilateral trade and investment relations between the two countries and focused on the limited use of Sri Lankan exports to the U.S. that benefited from the GSP arrangement and to explore modalities to encourage an increase in products. And that's local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Minister Dala Salaha Peruma says that 10% of the country's school children suffer from diabetes at present. Speaking during a program in Matara, the minister cited the reason as parents only prioritizing studies and not encouraging students to take part in sports. He claimed the country was rapidly moving towards becoming a physically ill nation. The minister noted President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's vistas of prosperity and splendor national policy framework mentions a sports economy. The minister noted that competitive exams children have lost their childhood and society is becoming unhealthy. He therefore urged parents to allow students to engage in sports activities. And that came to you in top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Moshlight, the Department of Examination says a special arrangement has been made for the students who will be sitting for the 2020 GCE Ordinary Level Examination this year. The Commissioner General of Examination, Sanat Pujitha, noted that students will be given an opportunity to make any amendments to their exam admission form by logging into www.donets.lk. He added amendments will have to be made by school principals for those applying through schools, while private applicants will have to make the amendments by themselves within a week. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. The WHO pleads with Tanzania to start reporting coronavirus cases. Turkey's president says a common interest with the US outweigh the differences in opinion. Jakarta slammed by monsoon floods, and those are the headlines. The World Health Organization has urged Tanzania to start reporting coronavirus cases and share its data. Tanzania is one of the few countries in the world not to publish data on COVID-19 cases. It last did so in May when about 500 cases and 20 deaths were recorded. The following month, President John Magufuli declared Tanzania coronavirus free, but concern is growing about the possibility of a hidden epidemic. President Recep Tayyip says Turkey wants to improve cooperation with the United States on a win-win basis, striking a conciliatory tone and strained relations between the two NATO allies. And President Erdogan further said that Turkey's common interest with the United States far outweigh the differences in opinion, adding that Ankara wanted to strengthen cooperation through a long-term perspective on a win-win basis. Severe flooding across the several parts of the Indonesian capital Jakarta forced more than 1,000 people to flee their homes yesterday. Some 1,380 Jakarta residents were evacuated from the southern and eastern parts of the city, home to 10 million people after floodwaters reached a height of 6 feet in some areas. Indonesia's Met Department says the heaviest rain of the season may fall in and around the densely populated capital in the coming days. And that's World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, the Minister of Power and Energy, Darussalam Perumal, says, in line with the National Policy Framework Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor, the procurement process for the establishment of 20 new solar power plants centered on 20 grid substations in various parts of the country to enhance the contribution of renewable energy to the national grid has been completed. Procurement for these projects has already been done in accordance with the international competitive bidding system. And that came to you in development news. In sports cricket, the Bangladesh Cricket Board has confirmed that the postponed 2-test series in Sri Lanka will be played in April. Bangladesh cricket team is expected to travel to Sri Lanka between April 12th to 15th. As per the latest developments, the two cricket boards have agreed to play the series in April at one venue. And that's sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka's LOLC Holdings said it had received over 10 billion rupees of applications for listed debentures and the issue has been closed. Managers to the issued NDB Development Bank said the debenture sale was the largest by a non-bank issuer. LOLC Holdings offered 3 types of debentures of 5 and 10 years. LOLC Holdings said the proceedings would be used to settle a part of 31.4 billion rupees of short-term bank loans. And that was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of
Business deals now easy. It just takes a few taps only. Anytime, get it done, all connected. Best discounts with real time. LOLC Real Time. Now download LOLC Finance Real Time app for your LOLC savings account. Attractive interest rates, transactions anytime, anywhere with a zero cost and no benefits.
With the COVID-19 pandemic impacting markets across the world and the currency fluctuations taking place, the global prices of LPG as one of the world's most widely used energy sources have been volatile throughout the world. According to ACR's independent commodity price reporting agency, the leading independent provider of energy and commodity price benchmarks, rising prices and uncertain economic forecasts overshadow the LPG industry globally. And that was economic news.
Hello, Buddha. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, in the weather report, the Met Department says showers at times in the eastern and over provinces and in Matale and Nuwara districts. The Met Department further predicts showers or thundershowers at several places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy falls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Several spells of showers may occur in northern and north central provinces. And with that, before we conclude this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The President says allowing person to use traditional farmlands is not meant to destroy forests. The Pakistan Prime Minister to visit Sri Lanka this week. The UN Human Rights Council is gearing up to launch its 46th session virtually tomorrow. Minister Dhanasala Perama says 10% of the country's school children suffer from diabetes at present. COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka on the rise. Over 300,000 vaccinated against the coronavirus pandemic. The elephant-human conflict in Sri Lanka to be brought up at the COPA meeting again. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And it's back to Chandima Virakon to keep you company with the rest of the programs this Sunday evening.